Welcome to Unscripted, a Siena Hoops podcast. I'm a Siena senior, Carter Gooley.
And I'm Siena sophomore Joe Lemery, and we're here to bring you the inside scoop on Siena's NIL collective, Saints March On.
Hear from players, coaches, and more as we bring you the X's and O's of the Siena men's and women's basketball teams.
So sit back and enjoy. Welcome back to Unscripted, the Siena Hoops podcast. I'm Joe Lemery. I'm alongside Eli, who's one of the managers for the Siena women's basketball team. Eli, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. So, start off, first question, how did you become a manager? What was your path like getting into this?
So my freshman year here, there was a player, Selena, who was playing my freshman year, and she met me at the MAC over there, and she came up to me and asked me if I wanted to be a practice player. So I said sure. I tested out the first couple of days, and I really liked it. So my freshman year, I was a practice player, and then my sophomore year, I became a stipend manager, and then this year I became head manager.
Nice. That's awesome. And so you mentioned practices. What are practices like for you?
Yeah, practice is intense, I love competing with them. They compete with each other, I like assisting them, guiding them in different drills, seeing them get better each and every day is something I enjoy.
It's so fun. You and I, we both do it almost every day, so it's a good time. Let's talk about the atmosphere. What is it like, particularly at home for the home games, being a manager and what the energy of the crowd and all that? What does that provide?
It's very loud. Playing here is special. The fans are really engaged. Every call is you see an argument or something like that. It's really fun here. Playing. I would say playing here at home. It brings a different vibe. You know what I mean? To the players, to the coaching staff, and to us, our managers.
That's awesome. And for you, I know basketball has been a part of your life for as long as you can remember. What does basketball mean to you?
That's a good question. Basketball is like a stop-and-go game. There's going to be battles you're going to have to face, adversity. You just have to withstand it. Basketball is like a stop-and-go game. Basketball can, change people's lives. And, I think it changed mine in a very positive way.
Nice. And when did you start playing?
When I was about 6, 7 years old.
Nice. And you played all the way through high school, right?
Yep. I played through high school. I didn't play collegiate, but, I have trainers all my life. Some of the things it was self-taught. So, basketball is it's a really enjoyable game, and I love it.
Personally, although you're a manager now, when you played, did you gain anything as far as life lessons from basketball?
Confidence. I would say confidence is something I gained playing basketball and throughout my life, because, there's times when I have low self-esteem and I don't think highly of myself, but, basketball brings out that, that motivation and inspiration to me.
And so now being a manager for the women's basketball team, what does it mean to you? How special is it to have that opportunity?
It's very special. I think it definitely helped create a blueprint in my life, having me being a manager created a lot of opportunities for me, so next year I would be being assistant director of basketball operation with Morgan.
Wow.
So, I think it opened a lot of doors for me and opportunities.
That's amazing and shows how much the hard work pays off for you. What has been your favorite game so far this year?
Fairfield. Although we lost that game, I feel like that second half we played extremely well. They battled adversity through the first half, and through then they really fought their way back. Although we lost, I thought it was a good game.
It was a great game. They showed so much energy and grit. I loved it. And overall, is that your favorite game ever, or do you have one all time in your manager career here?
Last year, when we is against Fairfield again. We went into overtime game. It was just.
It's in the MAC tournament, right?
No, it was. We played the
regular season.
Yeah, it was regular season game. We played at Fairfield, and it was an overtime game. It was just a lot of emotions. A lot of happiness, sadness at the same time at the game. It was just really amazing.
It's amazing. Well, it's great to hear your story, Eli. I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you.
I'm alongside manager for the Siena women's basketball team, Tehillah. How you doing today?
I'm good, Joe. How are you today?
Doing great. Excited to be interviewing you. I want to get to know a little bit of what your job, what your role is. How did you become a manager for the team?
Well, there's a little bit of a story behind it. Freshman year, I was a commuter, so I was looking to get involved in some things on campus, and I've always been involved in basketball. So I saw an ad in the digest. I know nobody really reads the digest, but commuters had to read it to know what was going on. And it was something along the lines of scout players needed. So I clicked on it. I saw Terry Prim. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but I sent him an email, reached out. And so for freshman year, I kind of helped with playing on the scout team. And I think I brought it up to Morgan at some point, like if they had any managing positions open, I'm totally open to doing that. Yeah. But I honestly completely forgot about it. And then towards spring semester, Prim would come up to me and whisper and be like, hey, if you want to be a manager, you should go help take down the projector and you should go do this and that. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that. So I just started doing little things to help out, and eventually Morgan asked me if I wanted the position, which by the time she asked me, I had forgotten that I even asked in the first place. So I was like, yes, and now we're here.
That's awesome. I had a similar situation, obviously being a practice player as well, and look at us now, we're both managers, so it's super fun. Walk me through the day of a life as a manager. What do you do every day?
Usually I try to wake up around 8 o'clock. I schedule my classes in the morning because I know practice is usually between 12 and 3 o'clock. So I'll wake up, eat breakfast, go to class, then go back to my dorm room, and then go to practice. And then after practice, I either take a break before I go to work off campus, or I'll study or do homework or go to a 6 to 9 or a 5 to 8. It depends on the day. On days where I don't have work, or if I don't have an 8 a.m., then I definitely make time to go to the gym too. So.
Good. When do you fit time to eat?
I haven't scheduled in my GCal.
That works. All right, so obviously traveling is a big aspect of this job. We both have gone a lot of miles going to different games. What is the traveling experience like with the team?
Honestly, it's really fun. I enjoy it a lot. I love getting to go to different campuses and seeing what it's like at different schools and just getting a different feel for the atmosphere. I definitely enjoy the fact that we do a lot of things together, like family meal and film and everything. It's nothing different than what we do here, but it's nice because we're on the road, and even though we're in separate rooms, we find time to come together and kind of get in the right mindset for the game. But it can be a lot of work in terms physically and waking up early. There are some shoot-arounds that are 7 a.m. I know coming up with this Buffalo trip, we got a shoot-around that starts at 7, so I have to be up at 6:30, which if I was a player, I'm sure that's daily routine for them, but not quite the same for me. So it's fun, can be tiring at times, but definitely worth it.
Absolutely. So now that brings the question, do you prefer the home games or the away games?
Honestly, it depends. I love away games for the travel experience, always, but I do love the feel of a home game. I love the support that we get from all the fans, and just being in a place where you know that the people around you are your support, and everywhere you look, there's going to be a saint. It's different when you're away because you'll have people that are definitely in opposition towards you. So it really depends on the day, but I don't know. I can't pick one. I really can't.
And it's nice home games too. You feel a little more energy because you don't have that jet lag, so to say, from traveling place to place. You're at home. You have way more time on your hands too. If you got homework to do or whatever, you save so much time. So that's really fun. Plus, like you said, the atmosphere, you can't beat it at home. The Siena games and the UHY, you can't beat it.
Yeah, you can't.
So any cool perks about this role? Anything that really incentivize you to want to be a part of this, and what makes being a manager worth it?
I would say the relationships you get to form with the people around you. I think as a scout player, it's a little different because you come to practice, and then you leave after practice, or the only time you really see the players or the coaches and interact with them is if you see them in passing or at practice. But I think with the management experience, you really get to have those good conversations with them. You get to know them a lot better. And I've definitely formed some good friendships. Obviously, there's the free merch and everything, but that's
gotta love the swag. Yep.
It comes with the job. I definitely value the relationships a lot.
I agree, and I think the difference between us both starting off as scout players, we've been able to kind of get that more family sense being managers, and it allows you to have more involvement and more of a sense of, I feel a belonging.
Yeah, and it's also nice because I can definitely feel myself growing as a person, and as I watch the girls grow through their playing experience too. So it's nice.
It's nice, and everybody I feel like wants you to succeed too. Like they're all rooting for us as well, as much as we're rooting for the girls to win. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, the final question I have for you today: what is your favorite part about being a manager and working so closely with this team?
I mean,
I don't know.
if I could only pick one thing, just being around basketball. I love basketball. I'll always love basketball. My high school was a basketball-centric school, a little similar to Siena because they didn't have a football team, so the biggest sport for them was basketball. And coming here and like not playing anymore was kind of difficult because I didn't have that like constant athletic like aspect in my life. So being able to be around basketball and be around people that have a hard work ethic and love basketball too, I think that's definitely the best thing.
It's a joy, and you learn so much too.
You see the game differently when you're always around it, and you have people like Jim and Terry nitpicking at every single thing. Like, it's really admirable of them too. to just dedicate their time to everything.
I've certainly learned a lot, and it's certainly been a cool experience for both of us. Tehillah, thank you so much for being on the show. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.